I didn't know that other people's monetary systems, they don't use 25-cent pieces, they use 20-cent pieces. And I found that out like a few years ago. And it always stuck in the back of my mind as an odd thing. And then I thought about it again earlier today, and I was like, or not today, but earlier this week. Because they were showing off, I think, they were showing off the pound, and I think like the pound and pence pieces, yeah, they have a 20p and a 10p and a 5p, I think, right?
Uh-huh.
And so, yeah, we don't have that. We have a 5 cent, 10 cent, 25 cent.
How many hay pennies do we have in our 20 cent piece?
Don't use any more of those at all. But yeah, Australia also.
What's a shilling?
I'll never figure that out. I'm assuming it's about 8 guilders. So was it guineas? Guineas, I think, are a thing as well. It's like 4 guineas to a shilling. I don't know. But anyway,
so that's a good price for guinea pigs.
Yes, ultimately, you could keep a lot of them then at that point until they get COVID and they all have to be culled. But the 20 is odd to me because I'm like, you're trying to find an efficient use of coins that are also easily an easy way to do math. I think when you do coinage for a country these days, right? When decimal coinage is like, you try to find a coin that's like, this is also an easy way for the populace to be able to do math, and it's also a convenient way for people to collect that coinage. And quarters have always been really weird to me because they're both like, they're quite big, but they end in a 5. But 4 of them make up $1. But because they end in a 5, you might need nickels to get them to come to a 0. Right? And it's like we had 2 5s in our coinage. We had a nickel and we have a quarter. And right? I'm going to keep doing that.
Yeah.
But everyone else is like 10, 20, 50. And then if you need to make up your 5s, it's like, well, then we'll have nickels. I'm like, that seems really odd as a distribution.
Right.
But maybe it is actually a really good distribution. Because you only ever need to get nickels. You know the nickels are useful for that kind of thing.
Gonna level with you, Beej. This, your observational humor stand-up routine, I think it's gonna need a little work.
I want to know. I'm like, what's better?
Ever notice how some people have 25 cents and some have 20? What's with that?
I'm getting to the point of the argument. What's better?
Oh, is this the argument?
Yeah, the argument is now. Is a 20-cent piece better than a 25-cent piece?
The bigger coin, the better the coin.
So, but does that mean like a 75-cent piece would actually be better too?
No, because you would need one of those and a quarter to make $1. You couldn't just have 2 of those to make $1.
Right.
Whereas a quarter, you have 4 of them and they make $1. But that's 4 versus
coinage.
5.
Yeah, 4 versus
20.
5.
Yeah.
Right.
And we already have dimes. Like, you can just use 2 dimes instead of a 20-cent coin.
Right. Because it's the 20 cent is like further along. And a 30 wouldn't make any sense because then you need a 30, a 30, a 30, and a dime.
Yes.
Yeah, 20 seems to make a reasonable amount of sense to me. I would not be adverse to 20. I feel like if you've got a 20... chat brings up the good point, though. I think, like, we don't have a 50-cent coin.
Yeah.
So
I mean, ceremonially we do, but we don't use it in... Yeah, we don't use it in...
I think if you've got a 20-cent coin, you got to also have the 50-cent coin to make that work properly.
But the lack of a $50 for us means that a quarter is actually a really good thing to have in that middle ground, to be like, we have those, and those help to fulfill a lot of that a 20 and a 50 would help to make the difference of. Okay, yeah, I could go along with that. Because a lot of people in chat are being like, no, the 20 is way better, and I'm like, I know that it's, coming from the culture you come from, you're gonna think that. Like, I'm the same way with quarters. I'm like, I like 4 quarters for $1. That really means like it's...
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's got weight.
So it's like, yeah, there must be like a if you like lived on the moon and you came down to Earth, and you found
and all you had to trade was cheese.
And you were trying to, and you found the Turn A Gundam, and somebody said, "I will give you some money for that." Then you're like, "Well, I don't know what monetary system." Yeah, what monetary system makes more sense? Yeah, 20 or 25. What makes more sense? Like, why? What coins do you want for this? Anyway, Oh, right. And then Moladia brings up the dime, and it's like, right, why do we call them nickels and dimes when they're 5-cent and 10-cent pieces? Why not just call them that? Are they nicknames or are they actual names? But I'm not going to talk about that because who cares? I just want to talk about 20s versus 25 cent. What actually makes more sense logically?
Okay.
Argument's over, I think.
Okay. As with many things, said this before, as with many things in this world, what you standardize on is less important than the actual act of standardizing, which we've failed at both parts of. But, it's the same with like, hey, what's the better side of the road to drive on? What's the better standard for whatever? And it's like, yeah, there's arguments one way or another with different standards or different ideas or whatever. But the real thing, though, is that if we were all in the same thing, it would make everything so much easier.
Right.
Just changing the standards is the thing that's super annoying.
Mm-hmm. USB-C, huh? Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh?
Huh?
What? Huh? Do we want to do a brick build right now, or do we want to put it off a little bit longer?
Do that.
All right. A half crown is 2 shillings and 6pence.
That
Great.
makes perfect sense.
Thanks, Jen. I don't even know how much a crown is in pounds, so. But a half of one is 2 and 6 of another thing.
A half crown is what you need for a half king.
Crown's a pound. Oh my god. Oh, they're nicknames again. Okay.
See, you have to get half. You get half the crown from the lava level, and
Right.
then half the crown from the ice level.
This is why.
And then you put them together, and you've got the full crown, so that you can unlock the forest level.
This is why Norwegian Kroner is so much simpler.
Is it?
Yes, I would assume. It's really popular.
Why?
People
Why
put-
would you assume that?
People talk about Norwegian Kroner all the time. It's in like everything we do.
Just organically, it just comes up.
Just,
Yeah.
Rare is the
Like-
time I walk into the moon base and people aren't having a spirited discussion about the value of the Norwegian Kroner. James especially.